What's going on, America? This is Kevin from Kevin's Corner, where I try to make sense out of nonsense. And I bet y'all wonder, why does Kevin have on a mask? I mean, has he bent the knee? Has he finally fallen in line with all of the rest of the sheep that don't ask any questions, just walking around with a false sense of security, like this mask is really stopping something? No, that's not what I've done. I've just found an alternative use for the mask. See, what the mask does is it allows me to channel some of the hardest villains, some of the hardest, people that ever was on TV, some of our favorite characters, so that I can go buck wild on April Ryan after what I heard her get on TV and say earlier today. She's going to make me do it. She's going to make me go straight up Vader on her. You know what, April?
You have failed me for the last time.
She done did it. She done did it. Uh-huh. See, you know why?
Your lack of truth disturbs me.
I got to choke her out. She's going to make me go straight up Hannibal Lecter on her with the,
"Hello, April. Has CNN stopped lying? Fly, fly away."
She's going to make me do it. She's going to make me straight up go bang on her. See, CNN always talking about all the mistakes Trump made and how serious they are. But you know what?
Not as serious as yours.
Oh, because y'all done brought it out. Y'all done brought the bane out in me.
Let's not stand on ceremony here. Fake news?
Man. No more ceremony. Because you know why?
You broadcast like a real news network. Admirable, but mistaken.
It's mistaken. So now I got to dig in to all of this fake news. Welcome to Kevin's Corner. Yeah, man, my intro summed it all up. I got to dig into him. So April Ryan gets on TV. Now, you know what's going on, y'all. The left right about now is scrambling. They are running around like the Three Stooges. Woo, 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 woo. Jeez. See, because they waited all this time to address all of this violence that's been going on around the United States. And so now, they got to go into overdrive to try to change the narrative and make it appear that all of this unchecked violence that Trump has been talking about and addressing since it started is all a result of Trump trying to redirect the attention of their sorry, raggedy voters and viewers to redirect their attention from what we've been seeing for the last 3, 4, 5 months to Trump. Trying so hard to tie all of this violence to white supremacy, white nationalism, I guess. It's all been on the rise, even though we haven't seen it with our own eyes. But that's not important because, see, CNN don't even want you to rely on your own eyes. I mean, that's just obvious by the fact that they go out on the scene and they cover all these riots by calling them peaceful while violence is going on in the back. So they don't even care if you see it. So what? If you see it, we just go ahead and trust that your viewer IQ is so low that it'll just go right over your head. You won't focus on what your eyes see and what your ears hear, but instead, what CNN is telling you. That's what you'll focus on. So now, here we have April Ryan getting on TV. And see, this is the problem with the left. They go over the top when it comes down to narratives that any reasonable person would stop and say, let me run that past my bullcrap radar and see if it passes. So when you go from everything's peaceful, these people are out just expressing their First Amendment rights and all this stuff, to now all of a sudden we're at civil war. Things are just falling apart and look at all this violence and it's all because of Trump. Now, a reasonable person would say, now, wait a minute, I might not like Trump, but I'm pretty sure I've been hearing him mention this for quite some time. And because I might be interested in looking at, voting for Joe Biden, I turned on the DNC little convention and heard nothing about all of this. In fact, They ran them out one by one, talking about mostly peaceful protest, mostly people they all people, mostly people protest. Yeah, had President Obama, former, come out talking about some, listen, there's no reason to send in American troops to attack these peaceful protesters. Yeah, y'all had all that going on. But when the polls start dipping, oh yeah, y'all got concerned. Y'all check those polls and was like, come on now, dip, baby, dip, baby. And y'all was like, So now what did they do? They all came out trying to act like we've been anti-violent. We've been denouncing and fighting against this the whole time. And this is all taking place on Trump's watch. Perhaps, but it's all been started by y'all. And even though it's taking place on Trump's watch, it's also taking place in y'all cities, thus bringing us straight to April Ryan. Let's go ahead and take a listen to this pure D hot right off the press cow manure that's still steaming with a bunch of dirty, nasty flies all over it. That's how funky this is. And afterwards, I'm going to have to do what I said in my intro. I'm going to have to destroy her because she has failed me for the last time.
Mayor.
Anna, let's call a thing a thing. This president, Donald John Trump, has instigated a race war in America.
Now, you know, it's sad. I couldn't even let y'all get 5 or 6 seconds into the video without stopping and addressing a couple obvious things. First, it's obvious that I guess maybe the lockdown has constricted her to the house because she looks kind of like a vampire. There's no sunlight, and I know people, you can't shame her, and it's like, I don't care. I don't care. When you're getting on TV lying like this and tricking all your viewers into thinking we're at a race war and it's Trump's fault, I mean, I have to take the kids' gloves off. There's no area that's off limit, okay? Because when you come out swinging like that, I'm going to start from the rooter to the tutor. I'm going to check you out from top to bottom and start with her looking like she's glowing on tape, okay? Maybe she's obeying and following the lockdown procedures because, I don't know, man, she like the powder or something, the poof, 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 nothing. But let's get down to what she just said. Yeah, she's saying that, you know, President Trump pretty much started a race war. Now, what I just don't understand is how can you, with a straight face, say that and really believe it? Now, I figured it out, y'all. I figured it out. See, because when you have been primping and pruning your raggedy audience for 3.5, 4 years about things that aren't really even happening, but because you keep reinforcing it in their mind, they decide to believe in a reality that they're not seeing with their own eyeballs. So now, remember, when Trump got in, we're supposed to be going to war. Where's that at? No war? Oh, okay. When Trump got in, the neo-Nazis and white nationalists were supposed to just go full-blown buck wild and start running around, bringing back all the good old days, man, when we used to just ride in on our horses and our hoods on, just do what we got to do, man. You know, shut all these minorities up. They shouldn't even be in this country, okay? This country is built on white supremacy. See, all of that was supposed to happen, but all the violence we're seeing is coming from Bernie and Biden supporters. Do you think any of these anti-Tifas are going to be voting for Trump? Do you think any of these radical Black Lives Matter folks are going to be voting for Trump? In fact, when is the last time y'all even seen conservatives riot? I mean, I don't know about y'all. I've been a conservative probably now for about 10, 15 years. I've never heard any conservative say, meet downtown, we're all going to riot and tear up stuff until we get our way. When have you seen any Trump supporters roll up on the scene with MAGA hats and decide we're going to go ahead and terrorize folks, use political intimidation to make them vote our way to accept Trump? You never see it. But yet, in folks' mind, they think that these things are happening because of people like April, who's been lying to them for 4 years, and they don't question it. They don't even stop and take the time to look outside and say, now, wait a minute.
I made it all the way to my car without the Klan coming and taking me away and putting me back in the fields to pick cotton. I'm walking around Walmart, and they're not saying, what in the heck are you doing in here? Girl, you ain't supposed to be in here. This is our store. None of that's happening. But April now is saying that Trump incited a race war? Let's try to finish getting through this before I destroy her even more.
Portland, Oregon is ground zero. This president, Donald John Trump, has basically stoked the flames for racist extremists, neo-Nazis, and the alt-right. And they're even...
I'm sorry, I can't let that part go either. He has stoked the flames of, the alt-right racist extremists, and also, I think she said, white nationalism, something like that. They all lump that in together. All that. So right now, what she's doing with that big old Casper, the friendly ghost face, she's straight up lying to the people. I mean, full-blown lie. Now, with that being said, she's saying all of these things that Trump has been doing, even though what we've been hearing coming out of the Democrat Party for years is get in their face. Nancy Pelosi even said, I'm surprised there ain't an uprising and all of that. You know how she is with the monkey. What I don't understand is why there isn't an uprising. And I'm going, oh, so, hey, guys, hint, hint, we want y'all to have an uprising. All of those things, or even Joe Biden the other day talking about something. I mean, does anybody think that if Donald Trump gets elected, there'll be less violence? Hint, hint. We're letting all y'all know, if y'all sick and tired of seeing folks burn stuff, tear up stuff, threaten folks, then y'all won't vote for Trump. Not because you don't agree with his policies, but you just need relief from all this chaos. That's what y'all want, right? So then go ahead and vote for Trump, and I will call off the dog, see? So with that being said, getting back to her comment about all this stuff that's going on in racial tension. All right, now I'm going to have to hit all of the bubbleheads out there that can't see the simple trick that these folks are doing. I mentioned it in my live show, but not everybody watches my live show, so I got to bring it back. What they do to make Trump look like he's a racist and inciting all of this racial tension is taking things that he says that aren't racist on face value and assigning racial, like some type of racial connotation to the statement. Let me give you a couple examples. Donald Trump talks about, opening up our country to receive 250,000 refugees from Syria would be the dumbest thing ever. It will be the biggest Trojan horse ever. Letting them come here and we can't vet them is crazy. Now, all these Democrats know that that's crazy because Hillary Clinton and her emails even addressed that. All these commentators like April know that's crazy. And you know what? Most humans in America, face value, would say, yeah, that does sound crazy. Until you watch CNN or MSNBC, and they would take what he said and say, it's obvious that Donald Trump doesn't want immigrants coming in here for, to be refugees because, he's xenophobic. He's xenophobic. He can't stand Muslims. See? Now, those bubbleheads cannot discern all they've done is put their touch, their narrative on what he said. Something common sense. But yet you just say, it might be common sense, but I need to distract you from that being common sense by telling you that he said and did that, not because it's common sense, but because it's racist. And folks can't even see that trick. I have not seen Trump say anything out there that was 100% uncut, full-blown racist when he got out there and said something like, you know what, we believe in nationalism. I turned on the TV later on that night, white nationalism. Trump's a white nationalist. He's supporting white nationalism. And I'm going, so y'all just straight don't understand grammar, context, nothing. Nobody goes back to watch the original statement, nothing. Okay, so y'all just listen to people like this just straight up say, it's obvious that when he said nationalism, he wasn't talking about just pride in our country. But instead, it was a dog whistle calling out to white nationalists. See, that's the simple trick. But bubbleheads don't catch it, so y'all need people like myself to, pop your bubble. Let's check out the rest of this propaganda coming from her. I don't want to get in trouble on call. her son, man, I got the feminist showing all that. I ain't gonna even do it.
And defending, this president is even defending Kyle Rittenhouse, the 17-year-old who went in Wisconsin and killed 2 protesters.
Okay, y'all hear that? Y'all hear that proper? That full-blown propaganda. Right now, she's sounding like the old school MC Hammer proper. That's what she is. She's full-blown propaganda. So she just said, and he's defending. Hey,
disconnected.
Well, excuse me. So she getting out there talking about President Trump is defending a killer, Kyle. You know, just straight got out there and murdered. Now, see, when it comes down to the left, like Donald Trump Jr. said, you know, there's liberal privileges. They can say, do whatever they want. So she could demonize Cal and just declare that he's guilty. But anybody who decides to say, well, you know, footage showed self-defense, Twitter snatching that down, Facebook snatching it down, YouTube probably snatching it down. You know, see, they want to create a narrative, drive you towards believing and settling on not facts, not reasoning, but a narrative. So now what she's saying, instead of Trump defending what the videos show, what the First, Second Amendment defends, or even innocent until proven guilty, all the stuff that a rational thinking person would go through, she blocks all of that by saying the only reason he's defending that is because he likes when these white nationalists kill these innocent protesters that just happen to be grown men chasing a 17-year-old around the whole city with the AR-15, not too smart, that's what I'm saying, and trying to hurt him while shooting behind him. This dude, Kyle, is about to be the next Nick Sandman because of people like her. CNN and all of them jumping on the bandwagon, demonizing the kid. And from what I saw, this was full-blown self-defense. But all of the bubbleheads who watch folks like her and her saying that Trump defended this guy, she's not giving them any facts about why Cal had to shoot these people. Just call them peaceful protesters. Last I checked, peaceful protesters don't be chasing people, hitting them in the head with skateboards or throwing things at them, chasing them, and then when you get yourself shot, then folks like her want to come out talking about some peaceful protesters and he came for violence and guns. White nationalism. That's what this is. Lies, all lies. And now I have to destroy her. Let's get ready for the dismount.
So at the end of the day, the mayor of Portland is absolutely right. And there are those who are calling for help from this president in the stoking of a race war. There is a race war in America right now because of this president. People are calling me asking if there indeed is a way to get the International Crimes Court to come in to deal with this. You know, I've talked to some people who are in intelligence and they're saying, he's done heinous things, but they have to see. We don't know for sure. But people are now afraid of this president because he has stoked the racial flames. And let's call the thing a thing. He has now begun a race war in America in 2020.
Y'all hear that? I am going to call a thing a thing. First of all, she looks like the thing. I mean, every version of it. The one where he's the bricks, that dude, the thing, she looks like that. And also that late 70s, early 80s movie with Kurt Russell, where it was just something. Every time you saw it, it looked differently. Yeah, she is the thing. The whole fake news and Democrats are the thing we should be calling that started all of this racial tension. All of it. Now, as she sat back and lied to everybody that's watching fake, phony CNN, I was offended by listening to this garbage. Because you know what she was doing when she kept stressing? Let's be clear. We are in a race war. What she's doing is signaling to everybody that, you know what? This is war. We need to fight harder than ever. And this ain't just about y'all protesting and all of that stuff. It's time now to get physical, because what we're saying is all of this violence is justified by Trump and him giving the dog whistle that only these liberals and CNN commentators and Democrats hear. I mean, I ain't hearing no dog whistle. I mean, you know, us humans, we don't hear dog whistles. Only dogs hear those whistles. So as she's hearing race war, as she's telling all of these liberals and impressionable Democrat voters that we are full-blown at a race war, and it's all because of Trump, and then suggesting that international help comes in, I guess, to try him maybe as a traitor or something. I don't know what she's talking about. The same man who's saying, let's go in and stop all of this violence and them tearing up stuff, but yet she's talking about it's a race war. This is their last-ditch effort to try to save Joe Biden from crashing into the side of the boat. He's on a one-way mission down, banzai, right into the ship. His whole campaign, everything. Because what they did is hitch their wagon to all of these violent anarchists. They used them for a purpose, and now they got out of control. Now it's starting to filter over into normal, regular people's lives that might have voted for Joe Biden, but now they're saying, you know what, if I have to choose between my conscience feeling better because they're telling me that Black Lives Matter and all that stuff, or the safety of my life and my business, I'm going to go with the guy who's talking about safety. That's what I'm going to do. So they bring out this woman to gaslight everyone and try to make them really believe that Trump is responsible for all this. All I would do if I was any type of, I don't know, let me see here. Like, they're going to make me do it. No, I don't want to do it. I got to get smart on them. All they need is some type of person in news with some integrity. So, excuse me, April. Excuse me. We just sat back and listened to you spew out all of that propaganda. So my question is, can you point to at least 5, just 5, in the last 4 years of Trump supporters becoming violent with someone? Okay, what? Jesse Smollett? Oh, yeah. So that was a lie? That was a lie. Okay. Bubba Wallace? Oh, that was a lie? Okay. How about the lady down in Georgia that said, all I wanted to do was get some snacks? And this white man come up and meet me. Why don't you go back to your own country? That was a lie. How about the football player that tore up his own store, his business, talking about that wrote on the wall, white nationalism, and that was a lie? I mean, shall we go on? All of the stuff that they've been running around saying that took place. How about y'all lying on Nick Sandman? That was a lie. All of this stuff that they're talking about, the intimidation, the racial tension and division, you don't see Trump supporters doing none of that. All coming from the right, left rather. And I'm talking far left. That far, so far is off the cliff, that type of far left. And people like her. So if you want to get to the source of all the racism and division, look no further than Casper, the friendly ghost. Well, you know, the fake ghost, not even a friendly ghost. Casper, the fake ghost that just put a wig on and came out on the camera. You know what? Unbelievable. She made me have to do this to her. I didn't want to, but she brought this on herself. All right, so y'all been listening to Kevin and Kevin's Corner. Don't forget to hit like, share, subscribe, and the notification button. Check me out on Facebook, Twitter, and on my Instagram page. The links are below. You can check me out every Wednesday live in Kevin's Corner on YouTube, Facebook, and my radio blog talk show. Don't forget, check out Extreme Teas, my sponsor. If you like their products, click on the link. You'll get a 20% discount. And then finally, if you want to donate to Kevin and Kevin's Corner, feel free. There's a link below. And keep your eyes open. We're about to launch my own video platform where I can say what I want to say without having to worry about the man shut me down. Because I got some things to say about a lot of stuff that I know on here. They're going to shut me down over. So I'm just being nice until I can get over there. You know what I'm saying? Not to say I ain't going to still broadcast here. But if you want the full-blown, 100% uncut, uncensored, you're going to have to come over there and support me there as well. So God bless. We will talk to y'all next time in Kevin's Corner.